we're back. Good evening. Underground World News Live. Here on this June 17th, 2024. How's everyone doing? Thank you, Efits, Gabe, everybody out there for the feedback on the 5x5s. Appreciated. For me, the judge, Wild West, Mateo, Susie Q, Hoodie Ross. I want to thank everyone that shares the stream. Appreciate it to the fullest. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Much love, Kev Bar. D White, all the fam out there, Tacos, Tooch, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Panther. Thank you, Dwayne. Good to see you. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get one off here tonight or not, but here we are. So that's a blessing in itself. Thank you, sweet Polly, purebred. And a much love to all my pure bloods. Much love, Joe. All is good with you guys. All right. Shift up a couple things here. All right. Chats look good. If I remember, I'll load up a chest. Top of the hour for everybody on D Live. And we're going to get right into it. We'll start off here with some space news for today. And wouldn't you know it, we got another active sunspot facing us. This one capable of popping off X flares. We could have one here at any time. This is Big Sunspot AR 3712. It has a mixed polarity magnetic field with north and south poles that are bumping together, and a magnetic reconnection could cause a huge explosion. And they say that that's got the energy for X flares here anytime. It is Earth facing, so that one, it's got another one above it, 3716, which could also pop off with some flares. So keep an eye on both of them. And it is the season for X flares and peak solar activity. Now, in the past, we've seen a lot of correlation between earthquake activity with these energies coming in. We still see that sometimes, but nothing like, there's not been anything huge in terms of like big flares coming in here in the past year or so, and earthquake cycles coming in behind it. And thank you, Colleen. Appreciate it to the fullest there. Last days in the house. We did have a fireball come in closer than the moon yesterday. Happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there as well. But you can see this one came in at 0.7 LD. Doesn't look like we got any other ones coming in close. But yes, we are on X flare watch from here on out. The chat just stopped. Get a refresh here. See something. Okay, there we go. All right, so we'll keep this pushing. I had my screen glitch out on me there for a second. I want to dive in here to the earthquakes real quick. Nothing major going on. Like I said, no huge quake activity. But if you missed it, I did put out an updated report here where they're talking about the Cascadia fault that runs here along the coastline. I'd say it's even responsible for this little bit of swarming we see going on up here right now. We actually even had a 2.8 hit right there in Seattle. But this is a 600-mile long stretch. And they've discovered fissures along it where gases are coming out. and they feel that this one's gonna deliver somewhere around a magnitude 9 or better. That's the newest information, the newest data. They think that this one is going to outdo the big one. You always hear the big one. What's the big one? Well, the big one's always connected down towards central Southern California, around the San Andreas, Hayward fault lines. This Cascadia would run all the way down through here on the West Coast and cut into Northern California, but really it would affect Oregon big time, Washington big time, BC big time. And there's a plate right here called the Juan de Fuca plate that zigzags and cuts in. It's been quiet for some time. It has pressure that it puts onto the Cascadia. The Cascadia is like a subduction zone. And in this newest report, they're comparing this to the 2011 quakes that went off in Japan. Same kind of subduction zone. And they say that it could let off a magnitude 9 or greater. If that happened, I'll say when it happens, because I feel it will eventually. It's definitely going to devastate that West Coast, upper West Coast. 100-foot tsunami waves, they say that this will generate. I mean, this is the latest data and science that they're putting out there. Most people that live on the West Coast know that a big one's due, but man, when they come out saying the Cascadia is going to pop and it's going to deliver bigger than San Andreas or the big one, it's exactly how they worded it. It's pretty big. It's going to be damaging. But we talked about this before, and I've had people chime in that live on the West Coast. I think it was Oregon or Washington, one of the two. They had a pod. They had a plan for this. They were going to ride the thing out in pods. I mean, it's a plan. It's better than nothing. I don't know how it'll end up, but they bought these pods that you basically get in and you go for a ride. Wherever you end up, I guess, with the tsunami wave. But I'd like to see these things like demonstrated, like or something, like before I go putting all my eggs into one basket there. I don't know. I guess again, something's better than nothing. I don't know how much them things run, but honestly, if I was on the coastline anywhere, if I could afford that. I mean, you're talking beachfront and everything else, or close to it. Like, I'd probably have to have me a little cheap helicopter. Get up out there. As soon as you hear the sirens going off, or you see the waves starting to pull back. I don't know, though. The earthquake hits, catch you by surprise. It can devastate everything. The tricky part about it. I do feel we're overdue for some natural disasters here in this country. Look, Utah, these are what I call odd quakes across the country. 3.1. South Dakota, same thing. 2.8. Swing over here. What we got north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 3.1. If you guys feel any of this activity, let me know. Like, at me in the chat. Yeah, you hear the Ozarks are the place to go, but have you ever been there? Have you ever felt it out? Ozarks is a vast place. It's got different areas, total different areas throughout the whole thing. So I see people say that sometimes, and I know people that have gone to the Ozarks and gone and done it and lived a miserable life. And I know others that are out there doing it now, different setup, different area, and they're making it happen. But one thing I could say about Ozarks or place like that, or any wilderness places, you better be prepared to deal with Mother Nature and everything it's got to throw at you. Because I had somebody go down there, and they were staying in the exact same area where Jesse James and all them went and hid out. crazy. Even Jesse James' brother was buried on the property next to where this cat I knew was staying. And the ticks that came out, all this other stuff were like horrendous. And mosquitoes and bugs and all this other stuff that they had to face out there that they didn't realize it was that bad. At Fish Sticks, Callie is already gone. What? Lowrider? What? Spiro checking in. Good to see you, my man. All is well. Hope all is well. Yeah, let's see. Be back out here. Looks like we had decent quake activity down there off the coast of South America, magnitude 6. Again, nothing major. I'll keep you guys posted if we see anything. Try to drop a video. We see any big earthquake activity. Jump over here to the weather. Get the weather wrap. NHC tracking tropical systems here that could turn into hurricanes. Remember, they came out and they told us. As my screen blacks out there. They came out and told us this is going to be a more active season than usual. Still kind of waiting to see what's going to happen here, but El Nino flipping over to the La Nina, which most of the time we're used to seeing these hurricanes come through what we call Hurricane Alley. Kind of similar to what this disturbance 2 is right here. Not so much like coming up like this one is. Now, it's interesting that when you cross over to that body of water, they track the cyclones there with a different wind speed system, rating system. It's crazy. And over here, we're tracking these hurricanes, same thing, but we're tracking it with a different system. Goes up to like 5. And we saw a hurricane come through that we swore was like should have been labeled a 6 because it was so strong. I forget which one it was, but man, I've covered a ton of them. Thank you for the coffees, and thank you for the prayers. Appreciate it more than you know. I'm sure if you live down here on the coastline, you kind of keep an eye on these things. I would imagine. Want to know when a hurricane's coming in at you. I don't know. This disturbance 2 has a 10% chance within the next 48 hours of developing into something. The other one down here has better odds. I'm just going to have to sit back and see what happens. There's a 70% chance of formation in the next 48 hours with the one in the Gulf of Mexico. So, Texas, New Orleans, this one's floating up towards you guys. Just keep an eye on it. We've got this heat dome, as they're talking about right here, parked over upper East Coast here up into New England. Maybe you guys are feeling it out there. Not sure what happened. Right there, screen blacked out again. All right. Anyhow, we've got fires north of Los Angeles. These big wildfires, and I'd watch these because what easier way to run people out of their homes, out of their land and all that stuff than to catch things on fire. I've experienced it myself. I felt like ours was an attack, straight up. I feel like the flooding that hit our region was an attack. Direct rain bomb. So hard that it caused landslides. It sheared off mountains. That's like dumping a huge bucket, not just rain, like drops coming down. It's like pouring, literally. Like a river, like a flood, like a waterfall. It's crazy. Weather is a weapon. Don't ever forget it. I see the weather and the fires, combination of it all, are really affecting us from here on out. Animal Black, thank you. Much love. Thank you to the fullest. Weather warfare for sure. It's a real thing. Brian T says no notification today. Imagine that. I'm actually subscribed to my channels off of another email, and I go in and I check it when I fire everything up and go live just to see if everything's going out and everything, and I didn't get one either. So, most of the time with me, I'll get it like tomorrow or something. Not when I'm live. So, anyhow, heads up if you're in Northern California, these fires growing. It can happen anywhere. We saw in Texas. These mystery helicopters flying around, and the next thing you know, these fires start. While there was still snow on the ground in many of the areas around there, it was what was crazy about it. But it targeted cattle country, and it's done a number. We're going to get to that here in just a second. All right. Keep it pushing. Wanted to mention this one. Stuff nightmares are made of right here. 28 people get stuck on a ride. Lucky they didn't die. And man, last time I went to an amusement park, it racked and rocked me so bad. I don't know if it was just a bad ride or what. It gave me a headache. All this other stuff. It's like wasn't even enjoyable. But that's when I was like, all right, I think I'm done. With 28 people, and I report on stuff like this all the time, these freak things. 28 people stuck upside down at Oak Parks on this ride called Atmosphere. It's supposed to swing around like a pendulum and go up and then like sit there for a couple seconds and then swing back down and around. Well, it goes all the way up and stops. And these people are stuck there upside down for like 25, 30 minutes. It's enough to make, people start to pass out and all types of other things. One person was hospitalized. They closed this ride down without any other comments. I don't know if it'll fire back up or not, but this is out of Portland, Oregon. Firefighters had to come to the rescue and get these people out. That's crazy. Every one of them had to be rescued off there. Now, talk about nuts. If the thing would have took off or decided to unlock and swing down and around or whatever while they were in rescue mode. I just don't know, man. I'll pass, is what I say. I've had enough roller coaster rides in my day in this life to say, I got it in. I got some in. Yeah, I'll pass on that one. I'm just saying. All right, going to go on to the next one. We got Catherine Austin Fitz back at it on the scene with some fresh warnings, and she usually has a lot of valid data and good information. She exposed a lot of stuff connected to everything we went through with lockdowns and everything with that. Her, many others, but she's back and she's talking about AI this time, warning that if we don't check it, they're going to use it as a tool for control. I've already told you that. We figured that much out ourselves. But it's always validating to see someone else come out, and screaming the same thing. Like, yo, this stuff is dangerous. Now, Elon Musk, a bunch of them are warning that this is like... She describes this here like a swarm of invisible locusts. We're talking something biblical. Elon said that they were trying to summon the demon, straight up. CERN just came out, well, they've told us many times that they can see, they've poked through and seen into this other realm, which we cannot see, that's around us, the ether, ghost realm, where the jinn are sitting. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. And that's what it is. And this AI, as I see it, you might as well say that you made an electronic interface that you're allowing the jinn to speak through. Like a new technological Ouija board. And through this interface, the jinn can work. They can control, they can do their thing. It makes me think deep on exactly what can be done with this Neuralink. I mean, Elon knows so much. He knows what he's doing. He tries to play the good guy and all this stuff. But he's in on this full scale. I seen an article earlier where he says he's against the, I forget what the term was, against the people that want to like take out all humans, and I'm like, well, that you're like faking everyone out. Like, no, you're not. Like, you want to merge everyone with technology. That's his ultimate dream. Mixing iron and clay. You know, it's dude, man, Elon's got his hands in a lot of pots, but I will give him some credit. He does speak some truth sometimes. I'm not so sure that he even means to. It's like someone that has so much eugenesis. Yes, you got that right, my brother. Anyhow, the whole thing. It just I've always seen the beast. In my mind, I've always imagined that somewhere they would have all this data. I'm talking from everywhere, from every country, everything that feeds back to one hub. Like everybody collects it, but then they send it somewhere else. It's one big brain somewhere. And it's overseen by this AI entity. And it was almost akin to being the Wizard of Oz. Is how I seen it and imagined it. This thing that has this entity that has this full-blown control over everything in the blink of an eye. You know how fast AI is and everything that it can do? And then you have one mega, like, call it a godhead, demon head, that oversees it. That it's, I mean, there has to be some kind of mechanism. There has to be something sitting at the echelon. Do you see what I'm saying? When you put it all together, there has to be something that holds it together and oversee. Almost just like you got all these states together, and you got the government that kind of like is supposed to oversee the whole thing, make sure it functions, you know, legitimately, which it don't here. But anyhow, AI, man, I'm telling you, all I see is like satanic, demonic written all over it. Control. How can it do us any good when we've got nothing but evil here? And to think that they got to train a lot of this on algorithms, meaning they got to feed it data, got to feed their monster information here to be able to do what it does. And if they're biased with that in any way, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It just is. Yeah, I guess we'll see. And part of the wild ride that we're in, huh? We call life. All right, gonna keep it pushing. 20% of California living in poverty. To think that this many people are poor is and living in poverty is nuts. 20% is a huge chunk. 20%, man. It's not like 5%, 2%. No, it's 20% of the people there. And I'd say it's even worse than that. Much love, Crown Jewels. Man, brother. It's got to find the time. Gosh. Been at it. I send prayers out to everybody out there. It's not just California. People are struggling in all states, in all countries, worldwide. Send out love and prayers, man. Everyone needs it. Call upon God. Do you know that it's written? He asked that in tough times to call upon Him. It's something He asked to do, to give it to Him. Because you can't control everything. And when you try to do that and have no faith, you can find out things the hard way. So I accepted that. And I do. I pray and I do give it to God. Put it in His hands. I swear I would not even be here. Everything that I've been through that was part of my test has now become part of my testimony. I'm telling you. Keep it pushing here. This is one that I really want to explain in some detail here. And if you're like the person that emailed me about this, and you know who you are, about what to do right now, stocks, 401ks, all this stuff. You heard what I said on the last stream about what I would do. I personally would not keep any large amounts of money in the bank besides what I'm paying for the month ahead. The bill's right ahead of me. That's it. If I had a 401k right now, which I don't, but if I did, I'd cash it out. Yeah. All day, every day. Somewhere right around now, I would. For sure. I wouldn't think twice about it. It's so heavy on me. And see, when things are put upon me like this, then I know it's right. I go. I don't question it. I don't second guess it. I just have learned. You go. We go full steam. Go for it. So check this out. Look what the title says. It says NVIDIA, Apple, and GameStop, which we know is a pump dump rigged. They are the entire stock market right now. And that is dangerous. And I agree. I'd pay attention to this because, I mean, a rug pull's coming. This is kind of crazy. When one of these, if not all three of these stocks start to experience some sort of selling, they're likely going to take the entire market with it. That is crazy. There's this much money in everything pent up in these three that if they did sell off en masse and someone dumped, it could send the whole thing down. And I told you, we're at a high right now for the S&P and the markets and all that stuff. So highs don't last forever, man. They're in the grand scheme of things, they're very short-lived. Go back and look at all the charts. Pull up any chart of anything ever. It runs up to a spike, bounces around for a second, and dumps out. Go back, pull Bitcoin, pull any of them. Run them back. You'll see that none of the bull runs last forever. They're short-lived, and then you go through a bear market that's 3 to 4 times as long as the bull market. That's usually how the waves go. But dude, when the game's rigged, the game's rigged. I told you before, if you all right, we see the whole game at a pinnacle. Not only would I cash out my 401k if I had one, and this isn't the financial advice, this is just what I would do if I had one. I'd cash it out. I'd go over to MX at a site where I can short, and I'd put a little chunk of money in there. I'd pick a couple of them, see where they're at, and I'd wait till I'd either do it now or wait till I felt the timing was exactly right, and I'd set my short. I'd set my short on. Sure would. And you'll make money the whole way down. Well, I would make money the whole way down if I did that. You understand? This is the only reason that GameStop is where it's at. Is because they caught on to the scheme. Roaring Kitty caught on to the fact that these guys were shorting GameStop, like in all kinds of other stocks, and then going in and destroying the business and bringing it down and making money in the process. That's crazy. And they're getting away with it literally all day long. And he checked it. They went in and they bought him up and they called him. They margin called him and they smoked him on their shorts, which means all the money them guys borrowed to launch all them shorts, well, they just lost every bit of it. And all the money goes into the GameStop, goes the other way. GameStop explodes. The shares go sky high. But again, it only lasts a short moment. Remember on the last stream, all the big talk was, last stream or the one before, all the talk was about this live stream that Roaring Kitty was going to have. And everyone was geeking out. Oh, it's going to go through the roof. Oh, dude, no, it's not. From experience, let me tell you something. I've lived through it and I've seen it. To take it back, I think it was 2017. That's when all these dudes came out and got really popular for making all these YouTube videos, and they were shilling all this stuff. They ended up getting in big trouble, most of them, for it. But man, the whole game is a setup. This whole game is a setup. I've never seen the stock market this high. I mean, it's at a record high, so I can't help but think that big dogs are going to take here at some point. Good evening, Pixie. Much love. Just saying. Look, I just told you, there's 3 big stocks propping up the whole dang market. And if they were to dump, that's all it takes. Bring this thing down. It's all rigged anyway. So it's all about timing and what they want it to do. Now, your state could make a move. I told you several times, my state's made a lot of moves against the federal government and everything that they want to do. Utah now stepping up, jumping in the fight. They seek to abolish the Federal Reserve within their state. A lot of the states have jumped on to making gold and silver sound money. They're doing away with the taxes on it. My state of Kentucky did that this year. It goes into effect here in like a month or two. All the taxes on it will be gone. Yes, gold will skyrocket. You got that right, Spiro. And it has. When I was back telling everybody to get it, dude, we were like, gold and silver both were way lower. You're talking like the sub 1500s when we were first mentioning all this stuff. And it just slowly rose throughout the years. And time's flying. We've gone through this scam and all these years since 2020. Here we are, 2024, halfway through it, heading into 2025. It's flying. And in that short time frame, we watched all types of stuff explode. Housing market, all types of other stuff in the market exploded, and gold has lifted as well as Bitcoin in the entire market. The entire market now. Can't you see? Bitcoin's at an all-time high. Gold's at an all-time high. Stock market's at an all-time high. Houston, we got a problem. I can't recall ever where this has happened like this. They're all 3 running like this. You know what this tells? This is like Rumsfeld coming out and saying they're missing trillions of dollars on September 10th. You know what the next day was? I can't help but have that feeling. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know that it'll be tomorrow or when. But boy, oh boy, if there's ever been a year that I've lived in where it's felt like, oh boy, it's right now. Yeah. So salutes to Utah for making that move. Abolish the Federal Reserve out of your state. Well, look at this. 94% of central banks are exploring a digital currency. That's pretty much everybody, right? A large portion will stomp out the other 6% that's opposing it, right? 94% of the central banks doing this. Again, this isn't a surprise. I've been telling you this stuff for years. Every step of the way. It was 2017 when I dropped my first warning on all this. It's called the Beast blockchain. Sure enough, it's been that long. Here we are now. We're just a crisis away from them implementing this digital currency. That's all it is. And all it's going to take is some kind of cyber attack. Really, all it takes is freezing your money. I'm not going to say it has to be a cyber attack, but it fits the bill. I mean, what else are they going to blame it on? You can spend a couple hours tonight thinking about that. What else are they going to blame it on? Oh, some glitch in the system? Man, there's our second guess. So it's some huge glitch that freezes everything up, or it's a cyber attack, or whatever. Whatever it is. It's going to keep your money froze. None of the banks are going to be able to get money out. Now, let me remind you, they've come out and they've repeatedly told us that $517 billion in unsettled debt belongs to like dozens of banks. And they're scared to tell you the name of a single bank. They won't do it. And the reason they won't do it, they self-admit, is because they don't want to spark a bank run. Dude, what do you think is about to happen? When Silicon Valley Bank, SVB, and just a handful of these banks started going down this last time, about a year ago or so, it was just a handful. When you're talking over 60 banks at one time, the cat comes out of the bag, there will be runs. Because they're saying that these banks are insolvent. What do you expect people to do? They come out and they're like, hey, yeah, Wells Fargo Bank is insolvent. What are you going to do? Just nothing? Nothing? Anyone with a brain is going to rush to the bank and try to get their money out ASAP, but they're going to find out very quickly there's nothing to be had. Nothing, and that's when panic's really going to set in. FDIC is going to step in and be like, look, we told you about this. I mean, they are the ones that just came out and said it. They only insure and back certain banks at certain amounts. All the small dogs get wiped. And this is by design. They wanted it this way. I told you, they're going to take the farm. They're going to take everything. And imagine when this day comes, when they freeze, whenever this cyber attack happens. I think this has to be a cyber attack because look how far you can take it. Look, not only do you freeze the money and people can't get it out, but guess what else they're going to take? And I told you they were going to take it. They're not stupid. They're coming for everything. They're taking your 401ks. They're going to take it. So how do they do that? They dump the stocks. They got it pinned up in 3 freaking stocks. I just told you this. They just dumped 3. It's very simple. And the whole thing comes down. But guess what? You're not going to be able to sell. Haven't you ever been, anybody out there trades, haven't you ever been in a part of a pump before? Or anything big like this GME that just happened, GameStop, or Bitcoin and crypto? What do? Even Binance did it, Bittrex, all these other places. When huge dumps happen, they freeze it. And you cannot do nothing. Nothing. You can't execute a trade. You can't get nothing out. You can't do nothing. But someone behind the curtain is allowed to because it's dumping before your very eyes. So how, I said it before, how come they are allowed to do it? It's the big dogs. It's a scam. It's the rug pull. And right there, when they cyber attack or freeze all this at one time, they freeze the money you can't get out of the bank. They dump on your 401ks and you can't get it out. You can't do nothing. Everything's froze up. You're just sitting there watching, screaming, crying. It's all just falling out. But then guess what? Here comes your government to the rescue. Any one of you that want help, that would Ronald Reagan say, scariest words I ever heard at government, and we're here to help. Yeah, that's what they're going to say. They're going to be like, every one of your banks has a digital wallet. And see, everything else is going to be froze up. But all of a sudden, for some funny reason, this digital wallet's not going to be. And they're going to tell every one of you that they will give you everything that you've got in your account in CBDCs, in this digital Biden bucks, whatever you want to call it, ultimately want to call it. And people are going to take it hook, line, and sinker. They're not going to think twice. They're just going to think it's another digital form they're not going to know the trap that they're stepping into. All of you listening will, because you've educated yourself. And that's the problem, though, is the rest of the people that are not educated, there's so many of them, they're going to jump in and it's going to overwhelm everything. They're actually going to start to make it work, give life to it. You see? Because they're complying with it. And then the government's going to say they have already done this. If anyone wants to refuse, like any business wants to go in and refuse your CBDCs, the government's going to go after them. That is what I see is about to happen. Every bank has been issued a digital wallet from the Fed. The banks have assigned you a digital wallet already. And people don't know it. That's exactly what Spiro just said. And that's the truth. I can't stress to you the importance of this. It's like the trap is set. They just have to put this in motion. And then they become the heroes in the situation. You will have, however, I feel, when the stock market crashes and comes down and they loot this, they're taking the farm, they're taking your 401k. There isn't no getting that back in CBDC. No. Don't confuse it. No. Did anybody get anything back when they stole it from them in the Great Depression? No. The fools planned it, they did it, they got away with it, and we know about it. And talk about reparations. All of us. Your grandparents, great-grandparents, got robbed of everything. That was your inheritance. You got robbed of it. Every one of you. And the offspring of the evil ones that did it are about to do it again. See, some of us see this from a mile out, man. What do? Well, have some things to barter with and get ready. Well, you didn't think that the beast system wasn't going to get pressed, full court press at some point? Oh, yeah, baby. If you came in here to ride this wild ride all the way through Trib and everything else, it's going to heat up. And you're going to be tested. Round one, salutes to all my purebloods. All right, you got another test coming. Try to prepare you for this more than a decade, man. This has been chief among the biggest things we ever knew was coming. These things, man. This is it. This is the control mechanism. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know when, but they're ready. Look at this. What's the next one say? Look at this. If you don't want to go along with it, they're going to force you to. What does this one say? It's just not right, someone says. Major venues are now punishing people for using cash versus plastic. That's right. Fans that were heading into the Yankee Stadium hoping to pay cash, at that iconic ballpark that everyone knows about. They try to go up and get concessions, and they get thrown a curveball. That if you want to go cashless, you have to pay, or if you have to pay extra. Which is crazy. They're forcing you into this. And they've got these machines where you put your money in and you receive a debit card. So you put in $200, and then you get this debit card back out for $196.50. So there's a $3.50 service fee. Convenience, for going cash free. So you're actually having to pay for this whole thing. It's the biggest scam in the world, but these venues are pushing it. If you don't know, don't be surprised. These bigger ones, you want to go out and catch a game, catch something out with somebody. Hey, man. You know what's crazy? In my state, this wouldn't fly. Locally or anywhere. Like even going into the courthouse, there's specific signs up that says cash only. Cash only. There's businesses. People come out here to fix your plumbing, work on your house, and this and that. They only take cash. Okay? That's just how it is around here. That's why I said this stuff isn't going to work here, like in this environment. Um, Sailor Tom, thank you. Prep, pray, stay strapped. That's right. That's right, man. I just want you to know, though, that these places are setting traps out here. If you think you're going to go on out to the good old ball game and have you a good old time and just take you, grab your wallet, it's got cash in it and everything else like it used to always be, you're going to get penalized. And eventually, the cash is going to be gone. So you can see right there what they're pushing. When it comes to the dollar itself, though, I've said it's falling apart. It's dying by design. But a lot of that has to do with, right now, what they call debasing our currency. And it has to do with when other countries drop our currency and they just quit using it. Everyone used to use it because we went around the globe at the barrel of a gun and imposed it. Plus, we struck up this huge deal with the Saudis. It created the petrodollar. Well, that petrodollar it's about gone. Go ahead and dig a ditch for it. Because the Saudis are going the other way. They've already signaled it. They've already shown it. They're striking up all these deals with the enemy, so to speak, on the other side, and they're going the other way. And if they're going the other way, that kills the petrodollar. Kills it. And then it's done. It's done. As soon as that is officially broke, dude, that in itself could send shock waves throughout everything. So let me shift up here and go to China here. I don't see how we avoid this trade war. The way things are escalating. I mean, even Trump was against China, and against China big time. So, I mean, that isn't going to change. I feel like he gets in there, he could go after China hard scale. I mean, I don't know. Because of whatever. They could come out and say, like they're already doing. I'll get to it here in a minute. I got some fresh threats they're laying out there. But China is launching an anti-dumping probe on pork imports from the EU after there's EV tariffs put out there. So, this is affecting the pork and the pork supply. Now remember that. Because if they try to twist anything, it's going to send the prices of pork through the roof. Now, what's this next one say? Eat more pork chops. Right? It's a tasty alternative to beefflation, is what they're saying. Not everybody feels that way. Well, let's look at some facts. We have a collapsing herd in this country. It's the lowest going back ever at this point now. It sits lower than anything on that chart right now. What about the price? The price sits higher than anything on the chart. Look at this. Going on back 2005. The price climbing, skyrocketing, and it's not backing off. For people that are being oblivious to this, turning a cheek or don't care, the cost of beef is going up, and this is where things are starting to heat up. I'm telling you, the supply, our whole herd, is been cut down. They torched all North Texas where they were. I mean, dude. So, this ain't good. What they do is they point to pork here. Like, everybody better start eating pig. It's like, no, I don't think so. Dude, like that's what the Chinese do. That's what the Indians do. You know that in India, they don't eat cow. They see it as a deity. So, you wonder who's going along with what here with these global things and schemes and scams and who they're really pinned against. Well, what? It's, I don't know. See, getting pricey here, man. Yeah, the sacred cows, they see it. It was the same thing when Moses came off the mountain Ten Commandments. What did he catch them doing? They were down there worshiping a golden calf. Just to kind of equate things there. But you know where this leads? This leads to them wanting you to eat fake meat in the end. So beef's already going through the roof. If this bird flu crap really takes off and it affects the cows, it's over. Like I didn't told you before, the chicken goes through the roof. The eggs go through the roof. The milk goes through the roof. The beef goes through the roof. All of it. Every staple that you know because of this one thing now goes through the roof, goes bananas. It will get so pricey people can't afford it. That's exactly what they want. They will be getting what they want. Can't you see? It's all a scam by these goons. So what are they pushing here? Beyond Burger, Beyond Meat, the Bill Gates stuff. Again, that's their answer. But look, what does the science show us? Already. Haven't you learned what ultra-processed food does? Well, this fake meat is no different. They're saying that this is all linked to heart disease and early death. So when you got these stats coming out on this crap, this frankenfood, like you can shove it. I ain't touching it. I go out here and kill me a deer and get by. Kid me? Get out of here. I ain't kidding out here in the country, just going down the back roads like all the time, like almost every day. It's not every day I see them, but well, today I did. Today I saw a deer just running, skipping through somebody's yard. But I see deer all the time. But turkeys, I see turkeys all over, all the time, and like a dozen at a time. So I'll be out there, get me dinner that way. Venison and turkey. Living off the land, man. Before I ever go down that route. Now check this out. I wanted to point this out. This says, attention, cash-strapped Americans. Goldman finds the top supermarkets out there that are offering the best grocery deals. And, Walmart offers the lowest prices. I mean, who would be staged and set up with enough inventory to even be able to give you low prices? Because you'd have to be a conglomerate. You'd have to be someone big that gets everything in bulk, that gets it at a decent price, that can give it to the people at a cheaper price to begin with. So it's going to be a big dog regardless. Unless you just got, at this level, I don't trust we don't trust their meats. I don't trust the meats hardly anywhere, to be honest with you. We don't. We'll drive an hour to get good stuff. We have to. I do not trust the meats at any of these places. All these Save-A-Lots, any of these grocery store chains. Kroger seems to carry some decent selection, only because they carry non-GMO. They have a larger selection of non-GMO everything. Grass-fed, all that stuff. Some of these other stores don't even have sections like that. That's garbage. And remember, anytime you're out there and like you're going to get an apple or you're going to get anything, and you pick a piece of fruit or vegetable up and you look at it and it's got numbers on it, anything that's got a 4 on it, stay away. Anything that begins with a 4, starts with a 4, stay away. Always remember that. Seat it in your mind now when you're at the grocery store. Anything with that bar with a number on it, the sticker, it starts with a 4, stay away. 9 is what you want to be looking for. The organics and things like that. You'll see that when you're out there. So, it's sad that you've got to be on top of your game when you go out to the store these days, because it's a trap. Everything, they passed the laws and allowed this to be a trap, So, yeah, bioengineered is in most foods. It's crap. You go out anywhere and you anything. I mean, you pick up anything, any candy bar, any candy, any bag of chips, anything, and flip it over, any crackers, anything out there, and it says made with a bioengineered ingredient. And it's like you just gotta throw it to the side, throw it to the side, throw it to the side. Like there's no way you could do the whole dang store. It's like that. That's why I said you've got to do selective. Um, a lot of the people right here that have farms, they grow organic heirloom, been growing the same good stuff for a long, long time, and you just stop in at one of these little marts and pick up the best stuff. You know, it's I don't care. I support the local farmer. Um, that's how I see it. That's how we see it. So we try to do it. Support them. Get your good, righteous goods, and just kind of stay away from these big grocery chains the best you can. That's the end game goal. Okay, it's not gonna happen like that, but set a plan. Have a plan to start growing some food. That's gonna save you some money. It's just gonna be good all around. I'm gonna be dropping a video, man, on we're in war. We're in a war on so many fronts right now. So many different angles. We're at war. From invasions to weather warfare to, like I said, invasion. That's insane. From the food warfare, all of it, man. We're in a state of war. Top of the hour. Let me load up a chest here for everybody on D Live. Throwing 1,000 in there. Opening it up for you guys right now. I'm going to push on to this next one. An Army Special Forces veteran. And this is something that's going to make this dude rich. He's set now. These little things you find you do in life, these little things like these little windows of opportunity. You just sit back and think and can make it happen. It can make you wealthy. And this man did just that. Black Cat, Elf, Holiday, Tiger, Hoodie. Much love to all you guys. He created an American flag that does not burn. Genius. Because they're going to buy them out everywhere. They're going to buy them out everywhere. You probably replace every single flag that is out there. Do you know how much money this dude will make in the process of this? Gary's in the house. Got to put something to that. Got to put that lighter or something, brother. Much love, Black Cat. Manny in the house. He's a billionaire as we speak. Yeah, it's like, dude, when you come up, it's just like the dudes that came up with them little stickers. The little stickers that, the little stickers that you put on the gas pump, and it was Biden pointing at it saying, "I did that," and all those are like genius little things. It pissed the administration and a lot of people off on the other side, but it was the truth. It was a funny little thing, and the person that created that made bank on them stickers. So, like, again, it's little things like this, man. I seen that, and I was like, wow. I was like, that dude came up with one. So the look on his face, he's like, yep. He's set. Until somebody snips his brake lines and runs him off the road and steals his patent. Just saying. This is, a world, with the Clinton cartel in it and all these other fools. So you may have seen this next one. This is a pretty important one to me. Depends on where this goes ultimately with the Senate. I could see the Biden regime, the puppet Biden, just signing anything they put in front of him. As you can see, it says it's the military draft coming. It says the House passes a measure to automatically register men for the selective service. And they did this, effectively clearing $883 billion in the NDAA and voted on it 217 to 199. It largely fell along party lines, as they say. So the Dems pushed this. With well, no, here it says oh, it says only 3 Republicans opposed it. So this is look, they want all draft age male U.S. residents to sign up with the Selective Service System. They want this to start in fiscal year 2025. Anyone, any able-bodied man, dude, this is reminding me of Ukraine. Bad, dude. This is bad. I'm telling you guys. I mean, when are you just gonna sit back and just let them come and snatch up your kids? I mean, when are you gonna draw a line in the sand? I've been asking you this for how long? For how long? You know, I've watched some people out there that I thought cared for their family and friends just absolutely do not. It's sick. But this has to go on through a couple other hoops here. If I report back on this and I say, hey, the Senate's pushed this through and he's signing all this, well, they pushed this into the NDAA, which is interesting here because it always gets cleared and pushed through. This never gets like stopped. So, they can make the stick. You know, it has long only been, it's been voluntary. But this new amendment's going to make it automatic. They say the merely voluntary system that's been in effect since 1980, the year that I was born. Critics said that leaving it up for young men to decide for themselves whether to register has resulted in a weak and ineffective system and not enough members. And we all know that's garbage. We all know when they told everybody that they had to do this and they had to do that during lockdowns, all everything else they forced, that a bunch of people were like, They've broken down our military and they did it themselves. They've done it this whole time. They continue to do it, and now they're wanting to sit there and say, "Oh, it's your fault. Nobody wants to join." I wonder why no one wants to join all of a sudden. Are you gonna let them draft your 18 to 26-year-old kid? And they're saying males now, and it'll go to females after that. What? They don't care. They do not care. Where are you going to make your stand? What are you going to do? What's everybody going to do? You know where the real enemy sits. So when people really want to get up and do something about it, confront the beast, it's either that or you just let them come snatch up your children and send them off to the slaughter. That's ridiculous. Anyone that does that, dude, just leave. They'll never come back to my channel. They'll never come around me in the flesh. None of that. Anyone that allows this to go down does not stand and fight. When you know who the enemy is, you know who's done all of this. From locking you down to bringing down towers to murdering your people, you know it's not some boogeyman in a cave. So you're going to allow them to draft your sons and daughters in the end to send off to where? Telling you, I'm just waiting to see when are people going to make a stand. All right, can keep it pushing. And thank you, Stephanie Cook. Clinton pre-approved 250,000 female medical personnel to be drafted. I thank you for the comment. So, the House Intelligence Chair says the U.S. is now facing the highest level of potential terrorist threats thanks to the open border. They just keep saying this. And this is a different guy now. He says because of the administration's policies right now and all the people coming across that we're sitting at this unprecedented moment in time where the United States is currently at its highest level for the possibility of a terrorist attack occurring on our soil. Dude, again, this is like a Rumsfeld thing before towers came down. They keep telling us we are at the highest level. I mean, what else more do they need to say? It's about to go down, man. some form, some fashion. Well, what did I tell you before? They were going to target what? What was there a high likelihood that they were going to target? What did I tell you? Go back, it's in the streams. I warned about it. I took a whole half damn stream and went through all types of different events across the country. Pride events. You know I did. We went through a whole slew, a whole list, city from city, all these dates and times. I told you, you better watch out. If you ask me, that's top of the list. Top of the list. What do we have here? It's happened. Look at what does this say? Possible chemical agent just released in Baltimore at a Pride event. Hey man, ain't trying to toot their own horn here, but I think I called this one. And here we go. Called the first one. The ball's rolling now. How many more will be hit? Become terror attacks here. Told you. Here we go. Now it's a possible chemical agent. Possible. How is it possible? Either it was or it wasn't. Well, dude, they freaked everybody out. Here, I'm gonna play a piece of this clip. You can hear everybody freaking out and running at this event. So, it caused the stampede. After Pride comes Jay from the Ville in the house. Much love, my brother. So, people injured in this event, a possible chemical release. Here, they're not even saying what or anything about. It was just chaos. And again, just as I warned you, I just felt it in my soul. And I don't think it's over. That these events were just destined, they're prime for the pickings when it comes to when you know what these guys like to do. Plus, they've put out terror alert warnings saying this stuff's going to go down. Like, where else is it going to go down? You know, besides the Trump events and all that other stuff, these places, top of the list, as I said. Well, yeah, Rome. So, let's get into the political side then. To get to cracking into this. Biden thinks he's slick here. And I got a bunch of stuff on him here real quick we're going to hammer on. Because it's just left and right. He goes to make fun of the reporters. And it just shows how unprofessional he is and everything else. And this dude's not there. Are you worried about the war? I don't even know what he said. He did jibber jabber something. I showed you the clip last time of him at the G7. He wanders off. He looks lost. This look on his face is crazy. I mean, he's so pale. He's like, dude, I don't understand. This is like Weekend at Bernie's, man. Like, barely keeping this dude. They say he's the worst he's ever been. This is the people that were around him. Like, they're not keeping it a secret. You figured they'd try to downplay it. They wouldn't even say anything. No. They're speaking on it. They're like, no, this dude's gone. He's losing focus, they're saying, and everything else. And it's the worst he's ever been. That's, I mean, what else can you say? They're saying this. And this is, the leader of the free world. What is this thing? I swear, it more and more reminds me of John Kerry in The Mask. I looked at a picture earlier that had Joe Biden, two different pictures lined up, boom, boom, in replace of these two goons, Obama and this other fool, Jimmy Kimmel, and they were all Bidens. And dude, something ain't right. Something ain't right. I've said it a million times. We've deep dive into it. The next stuff, everything with the mask. There's even an Illuminati playing card, for crying out loud. It looks just like him. And it says he's wearing a mask. And this is the old school ones. The ones that predicted everything, like the towers and the Pentagon and all that stuff. Yeah. So, again, I say it came true. Another one came true. And there's video clips, man, where you can see it around his neckline, plain as day. In one of those video clips, plain as day. I wish I had it to show you right now. Maybe on the next one, if I get it all loaded up. One of Biden's appointees has been arrested, charged with a felony, because this is how they operate. If you don't know, well, pay attention, take some notes. These goons will go and make fake accounts and attack themselves openly on social media and then play victim. Psh. Busted. This guy has been charged with a felony over these alleged hate crimes. It's basically a hate crime hoax. Felony over it. Yeah. So basically, sitting there saying that far right wing or whoever the opposition is attacking him and making them look bad when he did it the whole time. It's all fake. Let's play the victim. Anyhow, he's going to be serving some time on that. Wanted to give a quick shout out to Muckracker. They had a story here that was talking about how Biden has lost track of 85,000 migrant children in this country. We have no idea where they're at. The migrant children, missing. They're supposed to have addresses to the children and where they're at. And what they've come to find out in their investigation is they've went to one of these houses like he's standing in front of right here. It's ran down, it's abandoned, and it's empty. No one lives there. So, they are using these front houses to say, basically, thousands are living there. They're registering them, and no one's there. So where are they going, man? Where are they going? It's crazy. They have to be somewhere. I mean, dinner for the reptilians. Hey, man, don't keep me going. You got me going. So, I have to pull out the David Icke. What is this? Good looking out Spiro. Sent me a doc. Yeah, look right here. This is an update real quick that I got in. Thank you, Spiro, for this. This is weather as a force multiplier, owning the weather in 2025. In 2025. Just want to mention this. I'm going to read through this. I spoke on weather as a weapon. There you have it. I'm gonna go through that and touch on key points, like I said, in the next one. right there is just more proof. And, hold on. I think Jeff just came through rather quickly here for us.
Oh, this is from when, by the way?
This is this past weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at a Juneteenth celebration.
Yeah.
So he's at a Juneteenth celebration. Watch this clip, and then I'm going to give you another clip. And tell me if something looks weird in the other clip. Go ahead, Rob.
She knows so long as she was denied.
What?
Our freedom can never be secured. Since the founding of our ideals, we don't know fully what American soil is.
Back even moving?
Including going back to the Great Depression.
that is.
Ever.
So it looks like,
And so one of the things that worries me most
Okay.
about that,
So now-
John,
Is
is not just that
AI creation?
What there is now? Close it. Now go to the comment section. Okay.
Dude, you see, they were flipping on at PBD. They were flipping. I don't want to play too much of that. I'm going to try to hit me for copyright, but since I'm on YouTube. But thank you for that. At least we got to show everybody what we were talking about there with the neckline. That was what I was saying earlier. It's crazy. It matches. I'm going to also pull up at Illuminati playing card next time. So we can examine that, go over a few things. But the Biden campaign is also trying to say that Trump is threatening that he's going to throw women and children in mass detention camps. Dude, the bold-faced lies that are being spread and pushed out there right now, I don't know if I've ever seen them so bad. They're definitely going full court press attack on him. And see this dude, right, this face and right, all this stuff right here. I don't know, man. What will the people do if they give you Joe again? Like, you think it's impossible? You think it's impossible, though, right? Everyone's like, there's no way. Like, someone's coming out the shadows. What if they did? I mean, if it's someone in a mask, I mean, they could keep putting on this show forever. Forever. Dude, as I said before, even if Trump gets in there, what's Trump going to do? He only has 4 years and he's done. You know, so, look, we got Chrissy Teigen coming out with all these, don't even get me going on the darkness and the evils that are connected to a lot of these people. But they're on this bandwagon saying that they're all going to be arrested and thrown in a dungeon if Trump wins. And they want everyone to feel sorry for him. No, I think not, Demon. I think not, Demon. Okay. I shared a post here earlier. Here it is. Now, do you see this? Most of you are going to say, oh, they got a gray alien on the screen. But, you know, I don't call them aliens. They are the fallen. They are here. They've been here the whole time. These are just one of several different life forms that are here. And I thought that this is very, very, very interesting because these Indians, Brazilian tribal Indians, were shown a bunch of pictures in this interview of the different things. And these guys were talking with some other guys that were doing the podcast in their native language. And they were going back and forth, having some really good conversation. And they pulled out a picture of what you see here. And these guys immediately, when they said aliens, they had no idea what they were talking about. They'd never heard of aliens. But when they showed them the picture of the gray, they actually showed them the picture, they said, oh, yeah, they immediately recognized it. And they call them the Mankawabu. Mankawabu. They live underground. He says it specifically. They did not hesitate. And the lady even goes on next to him, whoever was sitting next to him, goes on to state that they will take and snatch your spirit or your soul. And that only the strong shamans have the power to get the soul back for the person, or this and that. And that they're heavily connected into the spiritual warfare. I call them demons of the flesh. These things are like the lower level worker bees for the more higher up and more intelligent, the bigger fallen, Nephilim that are here. And way that I've always, because I follow this stuff all my life pretty much, like, and all the big dogs that, that I've followed that were real deal connected to stuff like Phil Snyder. We mentioned the other night, R.I.P. Warrior. That did battle with these goons down in a dump. And it's documented. He even lost the fingers. It's all on video for you to go see. He even had a stomach scar where he got hit by all of it. He survived it, man. How else you gonna see them fingers got lasered off? He was lying about it all. Nah, my man was telling the truth about it all. He gave us details that I feel in the end cost him his life. They got him. That's how they do in these situations. He told us, along with what other people have said, the stories have all lined up to where in these dumbs, we have these entities in them. They're down there all over the place. And there's actually certain levels that, for the most part, humans really don't even go into because they're these things. And they've gone into detail again and again that there's this stench around these things, like sulfur. When you start to hear these same details pop up from encounters over decades and in different backgrounds and places and people that didn't even know each other, nothing like that, it shows that something's there. And Tucker Carlson came out and tried to drop some seeds onto the sheep out there in the masses here recently. He told everybody that they're here. They are here. And they are living under the earth and in the ocean, were the exact words he said. Yeah. Soft disclosure. Spoon feeding them. Other cats like these tribes, man, they know the truth because they avoided all the letting the government in and brainwash your people. They've actually passed down the same knowledge and information for eons. And they've had no one step in the way of disrupting that. So they know immediately, they know all this stuff. It's just like the Hopi. They said the same thing. When this place got wiped out last time, the Great Flood or whatever, a great bright white light orb guided them into the earth, inside the earth, hollow earth, inside the earth. The disaster hit, and then they came back out later, and guess where they came out of? And we just found this out here a few years ago when one of the elders said it. They came out of the Grand Canyon, where they won't let you go. Don't you know? Some of us have looked into this for years. I've got buddies that have done multiple flights over that canyon, and you can only take 2 routes if you're lucky. All the other parts of the canyon are off limits. When I went out west, I felt like a nuclear or some kind of war went down in ancient times. And what took me out there was looking at satellite images and seeing what I thought were the footprints of massive buildings and structures. Perfect circles, squares, everything. And where were they at? Hidden on river basins, out in the middle of Four Corners in Utah, in all these national parks. National parks where they won't let you even get a drone in the air to see it. You ever think about that? Why won't they let you get a drone in the air in any of these national parks? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because what we found on satellite and what we found in these parks. And I'm telling you, we got some unfinished business out west. We found some stuff. I found crazy stuff. And I even posted it on YouTube. It's on my main channel. What we found out there, me and Mr. A. Crazy stuff out there. Stuff that there should be monuments and signs next to. The humans made. And they don't want you to know. They're just like, no, it's a wasteland desert. There ain't nothing out there. My arse ain't. We found it. And I've shown it. And even when I post a video, get like 10,000 views, something weak. Like they won't push it. They won't promote it. Won't let people see it. It's stupid. It's there. Something crazy is there. Something ancient is here in this country. It's right underneath your nose. Probably even in your backyard. The mounds are all over this country, all through the Midwest. The giants that were found inside it's not fake or it's real. So I wonder what could be in the rest of the mounds that are sitting there still that they won't let you mess with. Another ancient Indian tribe out in the west, the Paiutes, around Area 51 in Nevada. What do they say? What's their ancient say? There used to be lakes, ancient lakes out there. Can you believe that? Wonder how and why they all dried up there in the area. Ancient lakes. Area 51 is actually an ancient lake bed. Okay? So there's one particular ancient big lake, and out in the middle of it on an island lived giants. And the Indians wrote about this. And there's a story, you can look it up, called Love Block Cave, where they trapped the giants and burnt them in it. And to this day, the whole thing's charred out where it happened. And when they went back, they found these huge sandals, massive sandals, that was on display for a bit of time in the museum. But along with a lot of the other stuff, like the double row teeth, skulls, over time, they've been slipped away out of view and into the basement of all these places. But you can look back at newspaper clippings and older videos and stuff where they can't hide it. They're trying to take it out of sight, out of mind right now. But we know what's going down, right? The fallen are here. They landed on Mount Hermon. They never kept it a secret. They told you. They came into the women of this planet, for crying out loud. They bored the Nephilim. Here, it got so crazy, they had to wipe this place out. Dude, they never hid it from you. They never hid it from you. They've been here the whole time. So these grays do a lot of the work for these bigger entities that are here in my book. And I could go down some rabbit holes for hours down on this one. But I just wanted to point that out and let you guys know that, hey, we had another, it's like the third tribe official that come out and just said, hey, 100%, they're real, and they're down there. You know, where you would find a lizard. Interesting stuff, though. Let's go on to some warfront stuff here. For the last half hour, we're going to go global. Thank you, Jeff, for that. Also, thank you, Surrey Walters from the UK, for that PayPal. Appreciate it to the fullest. We have another boat struck this time in the Red Sea, and it's a kamikaze drone boat that hit it. I told you this is going to affect shipping lanes. This is going to affect the cost of everything. We can't stop it all of a sudden. And it continues. So a crew abandons this sinking bulk carrier this time. Bulk carriers getting nailed left and right. Dude, telling you, it's going to get crazier. Week after week, it continues. Doesn't get any better. And they have no answer to stop it. They tried to fire some missiles in there and pound them out or whatever. It didn't do any good. They're coming hard. And it's crazy. Look at this. I tell you all the time, the world is a stage. And it is. Get to know it. Rothschilds control all the banks. Okay? And they control both sides of all the wars. World War I, World War II. That's right. Even if the tyrants didn't know it and realize it, that the guys feeding their banks are also feeding the other guys' banks. Maybe they got fooled, all of them. Well, today it's open knowledge. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they were going along with a scheme. Regardless, the Rothschilds controlled both sides of the war through everything. And nothing changes now. They control everything the same way. There's been Rothschild control inside of China since the days of Mao, when he went in, took the guns, and killed tens of millions of people. That was after Rothschild control entered. And Xi Jinping, their Don Juan, for all the rest of his days, he'll be emperor there. He was brought up by none other than Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger, all white man, part of the elite, Henry Kissinger. Yeah, like the world is a stage, dude. Rothschilds had control of Russia since the Bolshevik Revolution. The world is a stage, dude. We weren't, as the world seen it, on the best terms with Russia at the end of the last war. But us coming together with Russia ended the war. It's the only thing that ended the war. Because we're so dominant together. You can't stop it. Anytime Russia and the United States want to come together, then it kills everything. No one can touch it. No one can touch it. It's red, white, and blue all the way around. It is. They are. And they realize that. Right at the very end of World War II, they celebrated together and did all this stuff, and they had a meeting, and then they went their separate ways. And it was like, you go back to your corner, we're going back to ours. We've got to play this thing out, or else it don't work. If you are the bad guy, I'm the bad guy, then we could both make a ton of money throughout this war. And Russia knows it, and they're in on the whole thing too. Russia's played all their people with ISIS. The whole thing. Russia just played all their people and everybody with lockdowns and everything else. You don't fall asleep at the wheel, dude. Okay? The world is a stage. Russia overtakes the United States as gas supplier to Europe. Say what? Like, hold on. I thought NATO and Germany and France and Poland and everyone was ready for World War III with Russia. Yet you can't survive one winter without Russia. Russia cuts you off one winter, you people die. How does this work? How do you go to war with someone you're that dependent on in the world stage? This is a curtain drop moment again. World's a stage, man. It's sick of it. But let me tell you something. They'll want to blame somebody and put it in the history books. They will. When World War III breaks loose and all this other stuff, how things go, someone has to be a victor. There has to be some big events. Someone has to pop some shots off. And someone's got to go down. Unfortunately, it looks like the United States is coming down. Hey, man, much love and thank you, Deanne, for those 7 coffees. The support, appreciated more than you know. Wayne, the pain in the house. Much love, brother. So, look at this. North Korea, the same North Korea that's got 2 Shining Star satellites that are EMPs going over our country, our EMP commission said they were. And Obama shut them down afterwards. Okay? That same North Korea is now sending shipments of 5 million artillery shells to Russia. That's right. Putin is going to arrive in North Korea. He's there now. His first visit in 24 years. Says that he supports North Korea against the treacherous West. So, they're on board, man. China, North Korea, Russia, huge force on that side. And Xi Jinping says that he and his people know that the United States is trying to goad Beijing into attacking Taiwan. And basically saying that they're not falling for it, that it's a trick. You're trying to get them to swoop in and attack so there could be some kind of counter and, the whole world can blame China, but that's what Xi Jinping's saying. They're trying to set a trap. Taiwan and their leadership is saying, look, annexation and the elimination of Taiwan is China's great national cause. And they're pushing their propaganda. But I'm telling you, man, the stage is set for a huge event to happen surrounding Taiwan with China. Even if Trump's in office. Remember, China. He was going after them hard. Look at this. This is all Trump's got to tell the people. What we're already seeing. China is probing American military bases. I've told you this before. They're warning of it again. Again. And so I don't know how many times I'm going to have to tell people before the big event's about to pop off. Like, I'm telling you, they're going to flash a bat signal or some holy day coming up that they know about. And it's on. There will be no looking back. When this thing begins, it'll be almost like Red Dawn. They don't need to jump out of airplanes. They are here. They're staying in freaking hotels and other places, probably in mansions. They're here by the millions. They don't need to jump out of nothing. They don't need to pull them theatrics. Maybe they do just to scare the crap out of half of you. But they don't need to. They're already here. They don't even need to waste the gas. They made them walk in and just walk right on in. And then they housed them. It's crazy. Man, all right, so you don't know. We're invaded. It pops off at any time. I pray to God all you people are ready. Warned about it for long enough, that's for sure. Live one in the house. Power's been out since 1 p.m. Are you kidding me? Damn, son. I feel for you. That's never good, especially in this heat. Let me tell you. And it's baking right now. It's going to be 90s all week. I feel for you, man. I pray for you and the fam. For real. But man, I instantly think solar power. I want to tell you to go that route, but then I think you're in California, and I think about what I've said before about how they've left people in the dark, even with solar panels. And I don't know, man. I just wish you well, brother. That's for sure. I've got 2 more here to close this out with. This one is talking about this new Indian astrologer. He's known as the new Nostradamus. And guess what? He predicts that World War III will begin in an hour and 15 minutes. For real. June 18th, 2024. So if cat's in the UK, you're already in it. This dude's got a track record of making some claims. That's why he's got this hype around him and this buzz right now. So he's saying that endless military escalations around the globe, going to lead to this, whatever. We'll see. We'll see by tomorrow evening. If not, it'd be a dead one. And but if sometime tomorrow things actually go into motion, it will put this dude rock star status, like he is the new Nostradamus. Just remember that. But it won't be good because it's the beginning of World War III. You're talking like nukes flying, mushroom clouds, crap like that. Let's just hope he's wrong. Wanted to make mention of it because if that happens tomorrow, depending on where they fly, World War III and how it all goes down, this may be the last stream, guys. As Joe says, false prophet. But I will say, one of these days, it will be our last stream. Before the big event. When they shut everything down. So, I'll leave you with this one. And this guy said this multiple times before. And he's doing it again. The repeatedness of everything here is just like in your face. Dr. Robert Redfield, former director of the CDC, has put out another warning. He says again, and he's done said this. He's saying it again. He says, I really do think it's very likely that we will at some time. It's not a question of if, it's more of a question of when we will have a bird flu pandemic. He says probably somewhere between 25 to 50% mortality. It's going to be bad. This is the one I told you. I told you that they're this whole thing was to prepare for this, for the real deal. And this is the warning. When they put this in motion, man, milk, eggs, beef, everything through the roof, if you can even get your hands on it. Oh my gosh. The stock market will tank. Didn't you learn anything last time? Did you? Did you? When they came out enforcing lockdowns and everybody scrambled for toilet paper, the stock market tanked. It tanked. Free thinker in the house, much love. Hope all is well. It tanked. When they announced lockdowns, it tanked. Bitcoin itself dropped all the way down to like $3,000 or $4,000. Oh boy, anybody that bought that dip is loving it right now, sitting at 70,000. Are you kidding me? Well, that's how we do. We buy dips and sell tips and ride down rips. That's it. The stage is set. So when this next one hits, your market's going to tank right there. It already did it before. Okay? Eon sliding in with 7 coffees. Man, just, brother, you coming through constantly. The support is just unwavering. I love it, brother. I appreciate it to the fullest. Thank you. Ain't no one gonna buy into the bird flu unless cats and dogs start dropping in the streets. Oh, okay. I said I had dogs in there. Unless cats start. Hey, but with this one, I've always said it. Until you see them stacked up like World War Z. In the movie World War Z, the bodies were like stacked into a pyramid to get up over that wall. If you guys go and look, it was crazy. The zombies like that. I'm telling you. I've done said it many times. This guy's done said it so many times. It's like the warnings have been made. Only thing left is for something to actually just happen now. So it's like, oh, It's crunch time, that's for sure. Buckle up. That's how I see it. I have literally spent all of my time, energy, everything that I have, everything. I'm getting ready for this. I ain't taking no vacation. Gone nowhere. I missed Thanksgiving. Family reunion. We didn't even celebrate Christmas. We had none of it. Didn't even see the family. None of it. Because hard times in knuckling down and making sure survival first on what's coming, not taking my eye off the prize. For those of you that stayed true, you'll appreciate it yourself, and your family will appreciate you in the end. For those of you that took the steps to do things to prepare for this, others that just sat back like watching this like it was just some show or some entertainment and didn't take it serious. Oh, they'll probably die horrific, miserable, misery lives in the end. Like your worst nightmare type stuff. People that ignored this, and which I don't think are many of you. I believe most people that tune into me and listen to me and what I've had to say over the years have, it's some degree, have heeded the sign. Whether it's begin growing or get a place. And much love and shout outs to you guys that have responded and sent me pictures and thanked me for getting you going or inspiring you and this and that. It means a lot. It shows that it means something. To put in all this work, it's a reflection back finally, you know. Almost makes me want to shed a tear, huh? Just know that some people will make it out there. I know it because I see it. Some of you out there got your gardens and everything going, and just ready. You're prepped up, you're ready. It's about game time. So, as I told everybody last time, I would just go through seed prep, especially anyone that's sitting on some old freeze-dried foods and stuff like that you may have been sitting on since lockdowns. You better go through that and refresh it. It's been 3-4 years now. So things go bad, I would check the supplies. I get on top of it. I do it now. Our buddy Tacos here, he has put up plenty of videos on his channel on water catchment and the cubes and all that different stuff that come in with water. I've put out stuff on water as well. Testing fluoridation on it, and also just water catchment. I just put out a big video on it, on catching it off your roof. Again, I told you, I've taken everything I've got and dumped it into this. I got 2 huge tanks, and I'm catching the rainwater. And this is what everyone needs to do. You need to be filtering it and getting ready, man. I don't know, breaking away from the system full scale is the way to go. Thank you for that. Thank you for that super chat, man. Means a lot. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the support and prayers from everyone out there. Prayers more than you know, because it's real. For those that believe you know it, it's very real. The power of prayer is something else. Especially when you have the more people participating in something. It's very powerful. Once you realize this, it can be life-changing. I thank you all for sharing the stream, educating others around you, and fighting the good fight. Thank you, Efeds, Deanne, everyone out there. all my mods, Eon again, Freethinker, Deanne. Those of you that are always there, I appreciate it, man. Lowrider coming in, man. And you did it at the end of the last stream, too, after the show. Just legendary. I mean, giving the shout-outs here, and to someone, also earlier, the Pot 3 Coffees, the PayPals from anyone, appreciated. But Lowrider, legendary. It's beyond relentless. It's always there, man. And I appreciate that message. Right back at you. Again, I strive. I set my sights on seeing you again. And others of the crew. As long as this whole place don't fall apart, I'm gonna will it into existence. It just couldn't happen this year, man. They took everything from me, it seems, and I've had to do everything just to stay afloat and dodge bullets and all that. So I still keep my eyes set on meeting up with a lot of you guys out there. There's nothing better than meeting up with good souls. That's what this life's about. And if I can make that happen, I wish I could do it more often, man. That'd be a dream down the road, to be able to take it on the road and just be able to take it to cities and towns around, just get little venues and just meet people locally and do it that way. That'd be awesome. Maybe one day. You gotta dream big. You gotta speak these positive affirmations into existence, man. You have to. Never speak negative about yourself. Don't even joke about it. I'm serious. Never. Always speak on that positive tip. The best you can. No one's perfect. I love you guys, man. Close it down here for another one. Again, God bless to all you guys. Gonna take us out of here. Some live 1707 music. We're working on fresh music. Me, Hoodie Ross, Fire to Flame. I just gotta find the time, energy. Because I thought I'm about to drop right now. And finish mixing it. And we'll have another one coming your way. Oh yeah, they finally posted we're about to fight. So anyone, you may have heard me play it before. I can't play it now because I'm on YouTube. But yeah, if you just go on YouTube music, type in music and type in Dabu 7 music. Just go up in the search bar, type in Dabu 7 music. Do it on Spotify, iTunes, any and all those places. Just type in my name and my music, it will pop up. But the newest song, We About to Fight, it's now out there. It's out there all over the place. So it's not the newest. I actually dropped it before When We Come to Your Town, which is the newest. But they just now released it, so I just want to let folks know. Next time I'm gonna stream on Rumble, I'll play it or something. But much love, everyone. Taking us out of here. Beats. Oh man, live 1707. Much love, y'all.